Storytime about how I stole my mom's boyfriend. I'm 25 years old, and my mom just turned 40. She was 15 years old when she had me, so she was a really young mom. So obviously when my mom and dad were teenagers, they got pregnant with me. My mom hadn't even graduated from high school when she had me. My dad at the time, though, was in college, so he was a lot older than her. Obviously, looking back at their relationship, I think it was totally inappropriate. I've never said this to my dad, but I'm definitely open about it with my mom. Luckily, my grandparents stepped in and helped them financially. So I grew up in a really nice house going to a good school. The problem is that my parents basically had to do whatever my grandparents wanted them to. So my dad really hated my mom's parents. When I turned 13, my parents got divorced. My dad basically told my mom that he did not want to be in this relationship anymore. He was sick of her parents and that he didn't even want to live in the city we were living in. This was really hard for me, but it was even harder for my mom. She was left alone raising me while my dad went and partied. He was reliving his youth again, but this time the way he wanted it to be. I truly believe this, but my mom denies it. I think she started harboring resent for me. The fact that she had to stay home with me and take care of me. She wanted to go out with guys and drink and party. But I was always in the way. Part 2 is story time about how I stole my mom's boyfriend. I knew my mom resented me for having to take care of me instead of being able to go out with their friends and date men. When I turned 15, things started getting really difficult between me and my mom. My dad went off to New York, completely abandoned me and my mom, and went to live his dream. He wanted to be an actor, and he actually started getting successful at it. The good thing is he started sending my mom a lot of money. This meant my grandparents weren't having to pay for everything, and it allowed my mom financial freedom from them, which meant she could do whatever she wanted. So instead of staying home with me, my mom decided to start going out. This actually made me really happy. This allowed us to have some space from each other, and she was able to go and have fun. Our relationship got a lot better because my mom was just happier. She even got a new boyfriend. My grandparents hated it, but she was so much happier. Fast forward 10 years later. My mom and I are very close and we still live together. 2 weeks before my 25th birthday, my boyfriend broke up with me. I caught him cheating on me with my best friend, which is a whole other story time, so if you guys want to hear that one, let me know. By the way, this is not my story time, I'm sending me on Instagram. My mom just started dating a new guy. This new guy was my age. Every time he would come over to be with my mom, he and I would just stare at each other. Part 3 is up. Story time about how I stole my mom's boyfriend. Every time my mom's boyfriend would come over to visit her, he and I would just stare at each other. Like I said, he was my age, and he and I got along really well. Now, nothing happened, and it's not like I was trying to do anything. My mom would talk about him all the time, and I would tell her how happy I was for her, because I really was. But before you jump into the comments to criticize me, remember that my boyfriend had just broken up with me because I caught him cheating with my best friend. It was a struggle to get out of bed every single day. I thought I was gonna marry this man. My mom had an upcoming work trip, and I knew that I was gonna be alone. I told her that I was afraid of being alone, and she said, well, I can have my boyfriend come over and take you out to dinner one day. I said sure, obviously not thinking anything would ever come of it. So one day he asked me if I wanted to go to dinner, and I said yes. We were at dinner for like 4 hours, and it felt like a first date. We talked about so much stuff, and we had so much in common. We ended up having too many drinks, and we both got a little drunk. And when we got in his car, we started making out. Then we went to my house and made out some more. And then we did the dirty. This only happened 2 days ago. Let me clarify, I don't want him. I want him to be with my mom. But now he's telling me that he wants to be with me and my mom. He's asking me to basically not tell my mom that we're hooking up and wants to stay with her. What should I do? Story time about how I dated my 30-year-old teacher when I was only 15. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. I said I'm on Instagram. When I was 14, my dad got a new job and we moved to a different state. This was terrible for me because I left all of my friends, my family, and my entire life. And I knew that going to a new school at 14 years old was going to be really hard. Basically starting from scratch. I really resented my dad for it, although looking back on it, I was being a total brat. My dad's job was paying him $200,000 a year, and obviously I didn't recognize this as a good thing. My mom and dad were incredibly happy about this. We got a really big house with a pool, a tennis court, a gym, and my parents were the happiest I'd ever seen them. But this upset me even more. So me being a bratty teenager, I decided to make their lives impossible. I started staying out late even though I didn't have friends. And when I started making friends at this new school, I befriended the wrong ones. I even started drinking. My drama class was the only one that I ever looked forward to and really had fun in. And this is where I met the guy that would become my boyfriend. The thing was, he was actually really attractive. He felt like another student in the class, and he made sure to be friends with every single student. Because I was new, he made an effort to get to really know me. Of course, looking back, I realized that this was GROOMING. No, I don't want to say the word. And then he would flirt with me and I would flirt back. Part 2 is up. Part 2 of how I dated my 30-year-old teacher when I was 15. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. I was sending me on Instagram. Sometimes he would flirt with me and then I would flirt back. But trust me, I never thought anything would actually happen. And like I said, he was becoming my best friend. He would give me all this advice and try to help me out. But then right after, he would say something flirty. One day he saw me having lunch by myself and asked me if I wanted to have lunch with him in his classroom. Of course I said yes. I mean, I did have a crush on this guy. As we're sitting in his classroom, we're just talking like friends. And that's when he starts asking me about boys. I told him I didn't like anyone and this clearly made him happy. That's when he came to sit right next to me and told me that he had a confession to make. That he actually had a crush on me. And I got so happy. I mean, obviously, I was a girl in high school who liked a guy and he liked her back. It was like the best news in the world. Then he told me that he wished he could kiss me, but he knew he couldn't in class. Then he said, why don't you come over to my house later? And I was like, okay, sure. Please don't ever do what I did. He picked me up a block away from school and we went to his house. And as you can imagine, things went down. Literally. I fell in love with this man that very same day. For the next 2 weeks, I went to his house every day. Then he asked me to be his girlfriend and I said yes. This is when things started to get really scary. He became really jealous and controlling. Part 3 is up. Part 3 of how I dated my 30-year-old teacher when I was only 15. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. I mean on Instagram. Once he asked me to be his girlfriend and I said yes, he totally changed. He became controlling and really jealous. Anytime he saw me talking to any boy in school, he would actually send the guy to detention. Eventually, I told him that I didn't want to be his girlfriend anymore because of how controlling he was. That's when he told me that I needed to learn how to be an adult, and that all adult relationships were like that. That women had to follow the men's rules, and that if I wanted to be in a relationship with him, that's what I had to do. I was so naive that I actually believed him. So after that, I would try to avoid anything that would make him upset. Basically, talking to any boys. Remember I said I had a group of friends? He told me I couldn't hang out with them anymore. He also wouldn't let me go to parties, and anytime we were alone, he would always try to kiss me even if I didn't want him to. In total, we were probably officially boyfriend and girlfriend for only 3 weeks. I was getting so tired of it. I told him I didn't want to be with him and that I was not going to be in his class anymore. He tried to grab my arm, but before he could, I ran away from his class. And after that, he started begging me to get back with him. So here's what I did. I got another boyfriend a few weeks later, and he basically left me alone after that. To this day, I've never told anyone this story. Part of me feels guilty that I never said anything, but I'm pretty sure he didn't do it to anyone else. After I broke up with him, he moved to a small island and worked at a hotel. I'm now 25 and married. Not even my husband knows. Should I tell him? Storytime about how my best friend and I beat up my husband after he hit me. Disclaimer, is not my storytime, instead of me on Instagram. My husband and I have always had a really toxic relationship. He's always been extremely jealous and controlling. We've been together for 2 years, and within those 2 years, he's managed to separate me from all of my friends and my family. I still keep in contact with my family secretly whenever he's not around. I usually call my mom as soon as he leaves the house and I talk to her for about an hour. But my husband somehow always finds out when I'm talking to my mom. Sometimes I even think that he put cameras in our house so that he could watch me when he's not home. I usually work from home, so I'm always in my house, and he loves it that way. Even if I want to go to the supermarket, I have to call him and ask him for permission. But my best friend has always stuck by me. She comes over unannounced just to check up on me, and my husband hates her. He even told her one time that she needed to stay away from our house. But of course, she didn't listen to him. My husband has gotten physical with me in the past, but never as bad as this last time. Got into an altercation because I wanted to go out with my best friend. We just wanted to have a simple dinner, but he didn't want me to go. But I decided to dress up and I left the house. As I was leaving the house, he grabbed me and slapped me. Best friend was outside, came in, and she started punching him. So I started punching him too. I went to my parents' house and I've been staying there since. But my husband keeps wanting me to come back. What should I do?
The way our baby looks.
Whew.
My 22 male girlfriend, 23 female, gave birth to our daughter yesterday. The baby was ugly, to be perfectly candid. She's mine and I love her, but she was not a pretty baby. My girlfriend and I were casually chatting before bed, and I brought this up, telling her our daughter wasn't exactly easy on the eyes. She was upset, which I find odd. I didn't mean to hurt her feelings. I was just telling her how I felt about our kid. Truth be told, the baby is interracial, half Chinese, half Punjabi, so it was always a possibility that a potential child would be kind of goofy looking. I don't think she had to be offended. Not every child can be cute. My girlfriend hasn't spoken to me since. However, I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole?
Yeah. I think there's things you just do not fucking say.
What is wrong with him?
You're gonna tell the person that just literally
Just gave birth yesterday.
aren't you already like mentally going through shit?
Yeah,
because of
you
hormones?
have the baby blues.
Right, and then to drop that, like, hey, our kid looks like shit.
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend not to spit in our food?
Okay. All right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
We're currently not speaking because of this issue, since I find it gross and my boyfriend can't see my problem with it. I do most of the cooking in our relationship, which I'm fine with. Occasionally, my boyfriend will want to do some cooking together / do some baking. The one thing I cannot stand is a habit he has when it comes to food. If my boyfriend thinks something is too dry or needs a better consistency, he will use his own spit and put it in the food. For example, the other day we were icing homemade cookies and I caught him, quote, thinning out the icing mixture by spitting inside the bowl and mixing it in.
Free me.
And I just find it gross. His reply is to shrug and tell me that I get more of his saliva in my mouth when we kiss anyways. So it shouldn't be a big deal and makes literally no difference. Am I the asshole for not wanting my boyfriend to spit in our food when we cook together?
Are you in your body when you type this?
Am I the asshole for canceling dinner when my boyfriend brought a bell to the diner to grab the staff's attention? This might sound bad, but I don't know if I was the asshole here. I, female 30, have been dating my boyfriend, Rhett, male 31, for 4 months. We live in a different town and he's not from here. He's American living here. He usually visits on the weekends. This time, I decided to visit his town and eat out at a diner. Rhett was already there when I arrived to the diner. We talked some, checked the menu. Then, when it was time to order, he pulled a small bell out of his jacket pocket, lifted it up, and started shaking it. It produced a loud, annoying sound. My ears actually started hurting. I was so confused, I asked what he was doing, and he said that he was trying to get one of the waiter staff's attention. I said it was embarrassing and he should stop right then, but he kept shaking it. I cannot begin to explain the looks we received from everyone. I demanded him to stop, but he said not till someone came and took our order. I threatened to leave the place and cancel dinner if he wouldn't, and he kept doing it. Someone came already, but I'd already gotten up, took my purse, and started making my way out. He followed me and started arguing about walking out, but I told him that I couldn't take being embarrassed by him, and he got upset and said that he didn't get why I thought the bell was embarrassing. Explained that it was a perfect solution for no longer being forced to wait till someone shows up. I asked if it was acceptable to do this in America, and he said yes, because it's a free country, and people there usually don't give a shit. But I said it's inappropriate and embarrassing here. He said I was being too sensitive and overreacted over nothing. He insisted we go back inside, but I refused. We ended up leaving. He kept on about how I ruined dinner by canceling it and offending him, but acting like his behavior is shameful. I said I had a right to give an opinion on what he's done, even if he thought what he was doing, but he basically told me to get off my high horse and stop calling his genius idea embarrassing. He's been sulking for days now and wanting an apology. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe it's nothing where he lives, but it's just unacceptable.
Oh my God. That is revolting.
Disgusting. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to stop emulating Winnie the Pooh? So this conflict came up recently because I, 24 female, moved in with my boyfriend, 25 male. The issue is that he has started walking around the apartment and spending most of his days completely bottomless, dick out with just his shirt on. He calls this, quote, Winnie the Poohing. He told me he started it during work from home because he thought it was funny to be on Zoom and just not have pants on. I'll be honest, it makes me a little uncomfortable for him to just constantly have his penis out in front of me, so I've requested he just wear boxers at least. He thinks I'm trying to be too controlling and that I should appreciate his body. However, it just feels kind of unsanitary and weirdly dangerous. He was cooking with oil and a drop of oil spat out of the pan and landed on his penis. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to constantly look at my boyfriend's penis?
Get your dirty ass crack off of the couch.
I was just
Get your
thinking
dirty
that.
ass gooch off the couch.
The amount of stories I've read from people being like, my boyfriend slid his ass off of my bed and left a skid mark.
I would die. We'd have to break up.
Just know mother-in-law announced she'll be coming over at 2, but I have a stripper pole in my living room. LOL. I'm currently at work until 2:30 and my boyfriend is home. His mother texted him that she and father-in-law will pass by at 2 and bring lunch. Boyfriend immediately texted me, all caps, babe, the stripper pole. So I'm at work laughing, imagining the absolute horror in their faces when they walk in and the first thing they see is my shiny, beautiful stripper pole. Did I mention that they are very Christian? So I texted back, fuck it, it's our house. They'll have to live with it. I will definitely update. LOL.
Wow. Yes. Fireworks.
Do we have an update or no?
Oh yeah, we got a couple. Oh my God. I'm in my bedroom typing this right now. I got home and I opened the door. Tell me right now boyfriend is lying. Me. What? Mother-in-law. He said that he wants to be a stripper.
Yes. Yes.
My boyfriend can't contain himself and just turns red and dies of laughter. And I'm standing in my doorway, wide-eyed, confused as fuck. I just say, he's lying. I'm gonna go change. Well, anyways, I can hear her asking him why we have it, and I can hear him still laughing. LOL. Update. I exit my room. Mother-in-law and father-in-law are just staring at my pole. First thing out of her mouth. Quote, if you're tight on money, we can help you. You don't need to do this. It's disgusting. And boyfriend shouldn't be allowing it. Me, I'm not a stripper. We're good on money. It's good exercise. Father-in-law. Then go for a run. That's a stupid exercise. There's so many other things you can do. Boyfriend, have you ever seen pole dancing competitions? It's not stripping, I swear. It's super cool. Boyfriend proceeds to go on YouTube and pulls up a video. Silence. Father-in-law, whoa! Turns to me. Can you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Last update. Okay, this went a full 180, and honestly, we had a lot of fun. I did a few tricks, and mother-in-law was shrieking in delight. She was so impressed. Then, father-in-law, ... Quote, I can do that.
Oh, yes.
Cue, father-in-law trying to pole dance, and killing it, I may add.
Wow.
That shit's fucking hard, too.
So hard. Mother-in-law was looking at him like he was a snack. It was so funny. Boyfriend and father-in-law even got into a little competition on who could do the best tricks. Finally, they got ready to leave, and they told us that they had a great time. I still don't trust them, but they were completely different people from the past, and we both got the feeling that they're really trying.
Oh, nice.
We're staying hopeful and cautious.
I love it. I love the way the boyfriend played it.